Hello and welcome back. Now let's write the first Java program, the Hello World program. If someone asks you, is Java the easy programming language? The answer is yes. But they'll counter back saying Java is one of the most difficult programming language by writing the Hello World program in Python or any other programming languages. I do agree. If it is about the Hello World program compared to other programming languages syntax, Java is little difficult. But when it comes to application development, when it comes to the use, Java is one of the most easiest programming language. If not for decades, it would not have been dominating the IT industry. By the end of this series, I can assure you, you will agree that Java is one of the most straightforward and easy programming language. When it comes to the Hello World program, the very first program, if you try to compare this with other programming language, there is some extra piece of code you may have to write in Java. That too, you need not to worry. These days, all the IDEs which you are using, whether it is VS Code, Eclipse, Spring Tool Suite, IntelliJ IDEA, it could be anything. It itself will give you the first Hello World program template. It will give you the syntax of main method. It will give you the class. You need not to write much also. Fine. Now, as we have understood in our platform independent video in Java, first you have to write the program. The program is saved with the .java extension. It could be any name. Maybe I'll give the name as launch. Then we will be compiling that with the help of Java compiler. We'll use the Java compiler for the compilation. It will not convert to binary code. It will convert to the byte codes. And wherever the byte codes are present, that file we also call it as .class file. Same name, launch.class file. Neither in the machine level language nor in the high level language, and that bytecodes will be given to JVM, and JVM internally makes use of just-in-time compiler and the interpreter and convert your bytecodes into zeros and ones. How exactly this will happen, we have seen it. And realistic, what happens in the memory map in the static keyword JVM architecture, we will try to understand. Now JVM is the one which will be used to execute the Java program. JVM is also one of the system software, and JVM has been coded in a way that whenever you try to write a Java program, JVM will look for the entry point of the program from where the execution should start. So JVM has been coded in a way that if there is a main method, then only the Java program will be executed. Main method is compulsory in Java code. JVM is the one who's going to start the execution, and JVM has been coded in a way that JVM will always look for the starting point, the entry point of the application, from where the execution of the program has to begin, for which writing main method or writing main function is compulsory. Method means any activity, any operation we have to define, right? We basically within a method. Main method means the activity which will start everything. It's a starting point, the first activity of your entire application. In Java, there can be 100 classes, 200 classes, 5000 classes. Inside that, hundreds of methods might be there. But JVM will start the execution of the program from the main method. This is the entry point of the Java program. The syntax is public static void main string of args. If you try to compare with any other programming language, of course, I would agree it may not be friendly for you. Need not to worry, because all the reserve words are the keyword which is used in the main method, that you will understand going forward. If you want to understand starting in the main method, we have something called as public. If you want to understand, you should know access specifiers in Java. Right now, I'll not try to explain you the main method syntax. I don't want to give you any theoretical explanation for that. No, we have to understand that once we understand the components of Java. So once you understand in OOPS, going forward, the access specifiers concept, by default, you understand the public. We are going to have a detailed discussion of a concept called as static. That time you'll understand why do we use static. and about the methods, how to write methods in Java, I'm going to guide you. By default, you'll understand what is what. Going forward, we'll discuss what is an array, what is an var args, what is a variable, what is a string. You will understand the remaining components of the method. Right now, don't try to understand the remaining components because they are dependent on other components. Once you understand what is access specifiers in Java, what is static keyword in Java, how to write a method, var args, arrays, string, again I'll get back to the main method and I'll explain you how they have written the main method. Right now, just to understand main method as the entry point of our Java application. If you want to execute a Java application, must and should main method has to be there. All the IDs only will give you the template. You need not to worry on this. See, I have created a project called as first project in my Eclipse ID. You can use any IDE of your own choice, so that should not be a problem. I'll go and create a new class, new Java class. I'll give the name of the class as the launch. Whatever name you want, you can give. I have given it as launch. I'm launching the program. That's the meaning of it. You can give any name in that matter. I will first only say include the main method. I'll click this. See, already main method is there. I need not to remember to write it. See, we have something called as public, static. Public, right now I cannot say. I can say theoretically, maybe try to explain, but it has no meaning. Right? So once in going forward, we are going to understand the concept of access specifiers, access modifiers. That time by default, you will understand what is public. We are going to have a detailed discussion on the concept of static. That time you will understand what is static. What is the string of args? What is an array? What is var args? These concepts, if you know, only then you can understand what is string of args. If not, you cannot understand this. Making sense? Fine. So to understand that there are other dependencies right now, don't worry on this syntax. It is the starting entry point of our application. JVM will start to write, begin the execution of the Java program from the main method. If you don't write main method, JVM will not execute the Java program. It will not run. Compile time you can do. Compilation is fine, but not the running. And also, if you use the IDs such as Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA, you need not to explicitly compile. The moment you write, automatically auto compilers are there. It will only compile it. Java compiler has been pre-installed here. So you need not to explicitly compile. Directly you have to execute. Though compilation is a part of Java program, but as a developer, we need not to do if we use IDs such as Eclipse and IntelliJ IDEA. Now, how to print something? System.out.println is the method we use. System.out.println is a statement which we use, for which also every IDE has a shortcut. VS Code sout, Eclipse has sysout, control space. I need not to remember also, right? So I'll say here, maybe welcome. Whatever message you want, you can print within the double quotes. If I just have to run this application, don't worry about the other code which you can see here. Ignore that. If I have to run as Java application, you can see we are getting the output as welcome at the top right side. Fine. Even if suppose at the time of creation of the class, you have forgotten to include the main method, nothing. Every ID has a shortcut. I will just write main, control space, enter. Main method is there. I need not remember the syntax. By default, once you write 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 programs, so main method syntax also you'll be able to recall. But the meaning of main method, once you understand some of the components of Java, by default, you will understand. Java is the most easiest programming language. If you don't compare Hello World program with other programming languages, fine. Now, if I want to print maybe Hello World, system.out.println, I'll say here sysout. Every IDE has a shortcut, control space. I will say here within the double quotes, hello world. Okay. If I just have to run this application like this also you can run. We are getting the output as hello world. Fine. So in this video, nothing much about the main method. I don't want to explain anything theoretically. We have some dependencies of other concepts. That time we'll understand. Main method is the starting entry point of your Java application, more than sufficient. From here is where Java program will start to execute. This is the entry point. And remaining from here only, you have to link the other classes and methods. By default, going forward, you will understand. Fine. So thank you so much for joining me in this video.